Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
Smacking rabbit is inky.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. She ain't even got in the gym, sweating down her back and her booty. She ain't even got in there yet.
That's because she walking so goddamn fast.
But what's up, y'all? It's your first time tuning in. It's the Most Out Found. And we back. And, why did it flip on me? Let's see what's going on there. Alright. We back. But like I said, if it's your first time tuning in, hit that thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Stay up with us. And got a few things going on today. Well, not really too much. I guess it's a kind of a big day, but maybe not a big day.
Is it?
It's my birthday. You know, today my birthday, and I'm trying to decide if I want to drink some whiskey and go hang out with the cows.
Whiskey and cows, I think I'm out.
You know that.
One, I'm scared of cows. Two, I don't do whiskey.
Little whiskey today, but yeah, today's B-Day, nothing special planned. After so many is just beginning to being them all. Being the same, especially since I didn't get a chance to get out the country, go live that we go out the country and live that what am I thinking, SDS life, like he was over there in Italy on the boat. Get you a nice little scarf like his chick he had.
A scarf.
Yeah, you know, they had the scarf. Women always had the scarves on their head over there in Italy. You see them nice, fine silk scarves.
Really?
Put you one on your head so you can sit on that boat.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't. They had hair problems. So that's probably why they...
Nah, I don't think it's all hair problems. That and they on the boat. Instead of them wearing hats. Yeah.
Yeah,
You ain't got no hair, but we gonna we gonna pretend.
But if you want me to have a scarf with no hair,
we gonna pretend anyway.
whatever works.
You don't want nothing, do you?
They ain't gonna have nothing. They ain't gonna have nothing.
How you know?
Because I know. Stop playing.
You know what? I'll just get a smoothie since I'm waiting to hit. I hate to go all the way over there to say respond. But maybe have a couple things going on right now that I'm trying to go see.
Watch the curtain.
You know those homes we've been watching over in China, like those pod or capsule things?
Oh yeah.
This one out here in Texas I seen came up on my Instagram. I was supposed to go this past weekend and see it, but I didn't. So I'm like, you know what? They going off like, I think the one they showed was like 80,000. I was like, you know, that'd be interesting. You know what? I would find the perfect place up by you know, like cabin areas, some land. If you can have one over, hanging, get it beamed and everything, kind of hanging over.
Yeah, I think
on a hill or something.
Somebody had one like that.
I was like, damn, that would be dope. I would go out to that. It's only 80,000. Just imagine you get one rented, you make your 80,000 back in the first couple months, maybe.
Yeah.
Compared to what everybody renting homes, if you got the perfect location. But yeah, I'm trying to go out to see that. I'm waiting on the guy to get back and let me know if that's gonna happen or not today. So if it is, I'm gonna go out there and y'all gonna get some first-hand footage. The sun is just beaming right on where I got the camera, so I'm trying to, cause it's one thing about the DJI, them things do get warm after using them, especially if you got it in high quality, which I don't right now. I got it on battery saver. But the sun's beaming in this windshield right on the way we driving, so I forgot to put that behind there. But yeah, so hopefully we can go see that, and then y'all get to see that today. But I guess as of right now, we just left the gym. About to hit the Smoothie King. Should I get me a fruit bowl today? Or a smoothie? I don't know. Might get a fruit bowl today. Undecided. What Nala call them? Aki bowls?
I don't know what she called them. I don't be listening to her. She always be.
Ain't it ACAI? I think it's A.
Yeah.
You spell it. So yeah.
Acai bowls. That's what she called
Yeah. So we just leaving, and right now we about to watch something. We gonna discuss this on. I think he's a senator. The black guy, only Republican I ever see talk. He's on the Breakfast Club. So y'all about to
You said who?
see as we see. You about to see here in a minute who he is.
Oh, wait.
What?
You said it's your birthday, but you didn't tell the people. You're not gonna tell the people your number?
I'm 55. Look good for 55, don't I?
Don't y'all?
Y'all know nobody look this
I
good
like
at
'em
55.
I like them old.
Still be at the gym, getting it in. So all y'all young ones out there talking about you 55 and you need Viagra, use a lie. Use a lie.
Maybe they not alive. Maybe they do.
What?
Need it.
What's this? That's all that bad food they intaking. But not me. No sirree, Bob.
Yeah, he not 50.
Give me some yak, I still break your mama back.
First of all, you ain't breaking nobody's mama's back.
You are mama, what you mean?
I'm the only mama's back you breaking. Excuse you.
Hey, but I got a question. I wonder is this too soon? My wife kind of said it is. I was thinking of
Oh God.
a Halloween costume.
No. No.
No,
No.
I can't.
No.
I can't. We ain't gonna put on the costume.
What you asked me about before?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Told you I got that baby oil. All you need is that hair shaved to the side. We already got it cut low, so we just gonna put that piece on there and we gonna do it.
He ain't even got a sentencing day for court.
I know. That's
No.
why it's best.
Oh, it's too fresh.
Hey,
it's still people coming out saying that they got beat up.
As much memes
And
and shit, people saying, man, a lot of them goddamn people took drugs because they want to take drugs. Like I said, I don't care if you're a grown ass adult. You know what you want to do and don't want to do. You know what the fuck was going on at them parties. Your ass still showed up and you stayed after hours when they told everybody to get the fuck out. So you got what was coming. That's just me. So
I kind of
this is
feel
my personal opinion.
I was gonna post this the other day.
But we ain't talking about Diddy today. But
No, I
I'll
was
let you
going to talk
finish.
about Cardi B and Offset. Can all y'all people just please take us out the group chat? I feel like this is the year of everybody's BS becoming our BS.
Who's art? Ain't coming my BS.
Because you can't go nowhere without seeing Diddy stuff. You can't go nowhere without seeing another allegation. There's nowhere. I was trying to get on YouTube and it just keeps popping up. Like,
Well, you just
how do I
heard
just block
you
this?
just heard Diddy in the morning say she gonna keep talking about it, even though people tired of hearing about it. It is what it is.
That's how I feel about Cardi B and Offset. Look, y'all get y'all house in order in y'all home. We don't need to know about none of this stuff.
That's the era we living in where everybody put their business out.
I personally think,
And some of that shit, everybody has a temptation when they angry just to go out and vent now and put the shit on the internet about shit that's going on. Even I done been in a position where I've been angry and felt like putting some shit out there, but sometimes you gotta check yourself. Like, nah, I ain't gonna put that out there. I ain't even gonna say it. Most people don't have that restraint not to say what they want to say. So people like, fuck it. You gonna keep saying something about me? I'm gonna keep throwing this out there. You out here acting like you innocent. This. I'm gonna say something. So, and we know, especially men dealing with women. This what was I listening to? Oh boy, Pimpin' Ken the other day was talking about. You ain't gonna win. You arguing with your woman, it ain't gonna matter what it is. You ain't gonna win.
Not necessarily. For me, their situation, to me, is it's cool for him to keep cheating on her, but if she do it, then it's...
I don't even know what this is about, so I can't even say that. All I know is...
It's a big deal.
All I know is from what I heard, but this one, because it was...
The last one where she said she slept with old dude.
Well, she was pregnant with the baby. That's fine. I don't give a fuck how you look at it.
David, he been cheating on her.
I don't give a shit about... You can cheat. You can cheat, but if you pregnant...
What makes it different because you're pregnant?
That's... What you mean?
What make it different?
That's just dirty. In a man's eye,
it's dirtier because
you pregnant.
So what?
See,
he cheated on her when she was pregnant.
That's not the same thing. He ain't carrying no motherfucking baby.
So, but he's
you carrying a motherfucking baby.
Is that going to taint the baby? Is the
baby already developed? You don't know that. Shit. You can say what you want. You know how she thinks.
Men are crazy.
No, I'm gonna say that shit's foul. That's some shit you don't do. That's like what Jay-Z said on his old song. What'd he say? I was just cutting them girls. I was gonna be right back. You wasn't supposed to go do me like that.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I was just cutting. We had something.
Nah, clearly we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No.
Yes, we did.
Clearly we don't.
We had something. It's like the old guy I was work with. I was just telling you. He in his 60s and 70s. He was like, I was like, man, where you been at? I ain't seen you in a minute. He was like, well, I was like, shit, one of the owners told me that you might be moving back up north. He was like, yeah. I fuck around, left the lady. I was like, huh? Where this shit come from? He was like, man, I just got tired of it. He was like, you know, I'm working my ass off, getting no affection, no nothing. I come home, I be gone working a few days, whatever. She come home, she in granny panties, head wrapped, everything, not getting nothing. It was just cold. He was like, man, I got tired of that shit. He was like, so I was like, you know what? All the other shit. He was like, even what she do one time? He was like, one time during the holidays, she had her ex-husband, didn't tell him, which they got her daughter and boyfriend, whatever, but her ex-husband came up there and stayed and shit.
Wait, he didn't know that?
Yeah, he didn't know. He just popped up. It was like, oh yeah, we invited him to come for, it was either Thanksgiving or Christmas. I think it was Christmas, because he was like, shit, I wake up. It's like, all his family was up north, so this was pretty much her family. They all in Christmas pajamas and shit. Didn't give him the memo to get Christmas pajamas. I was like, oh, fuck, I'd have been gone. I was like, that's cold-blooded. I was like, man, I'd have been and left.
That's very fucked up.
I would have been and left. Oh, you can say that's very fucked up.
Unless we've had a conversation about it.
Nah, he said, hey, we didn't have no conversation. He was like, I didn't know that.
And he woke up and everybody got on in sync pajamas and he the only person don't.
Everybody in sync.
Yeah, that's messed up.
I was like, oh yeah, I'd have been gone.
I mean, it ain't Cardi B that kind of messed up, but that's crazy.
Yeah, that's messed up. But I don't even want to talk about Cardi. I don't want to talk about that shit them anymore anyway. But that all I'm saying was that's, I don't care how you look at it. That's dirty.
I think that just men and women have a different way.
Yes, we do. If you're gonna cheat, that's cool. I ain't got no problem. If you're gonna cheat and we just cheating, but cheating when you carry my child, well, I ain't even gonna say cheating, but if you can be dating, but maybe not having no sexual activity with my activity or nothing, cool. But if you still carrying my child and you going off and you knocking some other nigga, that letting somebody else knock you down with my baby and you, I might kill you.
But you think it's cool for him to cheat on her while she's full pregnant?
He ain't pregnant. He ain't pregnant though.
But it's cool for him to do it.
First off,
see,
that's the problem with you women right there. You keep saying it's cool. I didn't say shit was cool. You didn't hear me say nothing was cool. All I'm saying is that is a hellified fucked up thing. Yeah, I may be poking something that ain't pregnant and got a condom on and coming home or whoop-de-whoop, but with my baby, I'll kill you. I'm gonna tell you right off top. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Your ass be body buried somewhere, car accident, gas line, brake line. Oh, well, you know what? After the baby, I had to.
And y'all, in every video, he be saying that I'm crazy. Do y'all
I
think this?
had to get the baby. That's just my personal opinion. If there's a man that flips out, go cut the baby out of you and kill your ass, that would be one of them motherfucking scenarios.
Well, guess
I would.
what? I'm gonna report you right now.
I would lose my motherfucker. That would have been
Just for saying it out loud.
when I be in court. They'd be like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Man, I just lost my motherfucking mind. I just blacked out." She said that shit. I heard that shit. I don't remember not a thing. Not a nutter. That's all I'm saying.
That's okay. We'll have this video to go back
Hey,
on.
and I'm not saying killing nobody is right. None of that. But everybody has emotions and shit. Yeah, everybody do something fucked up. But I think for men, that's like the low.
Did they hit something?
No, this lady ran across the line. She was about to get knocked out. She almost got hit. But for men, I mean, that's just a whole nother level. You might as well go fuck with the ops. That's how I feel. And she even said, I don't want, even though your ops being in my phone sending me messages, I don't fuck with the ops because they want to kill you. That's how I take it as. Now, why you got to stop? And that's a big one. I ain't seen nothing like that. But yeah, I'm like, she don't want him killed, but man, that's some crazy shit. But hey, no more Cardi B shit anyway. I'm getting back to this is day my month birthday.
Okay. Whoa. Y'all think he had whiskey at the gym?
Nah, should have been like them people be coming in smoking that good. I'd be like, dude, how the fuck you come to the gym and you just smell like you just burnt a whole bag? I'm like, I guess. I don't see how you do it.
But I sure be in there smelling it.
I'd be like,
And be so confused, like, who can get hot and come work out?
To the gym.
That's different,
But yeah, so what we about to watch, and we gonna go through it, and this is the well, I guess
We about to watch
we got a minute. Yeah, we about to watch. We about to go tit for tat on this Republicans right now. We down to the wire with this Kamala and
I thought we was not gonna talk about
I'm not talking about Kamala. I'm not talking about her at all. I'm talking about what he got to say. I'm listening because they say, you know, I really don't see too many Democrats coming on the Breakfast Club.
Okay.
I know Charlamagne talked about it. They've had Republicans from both sides. They tried to call them such and such, but so yeah, we gonna watch that. Hopefully, I'll get this response to go out to see this pod, and we're gonna take it from there. If I get the call, if not, then figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. I'm gonna just relax. No, I ain't gonna relax. I need to figure out how to get some more money. It's hard out here. But I guess one thing.
Is it doing something weird?
Huh?
Is it doing something weird? No, I'm just sure if that's what you're trying to adjust.
No. It wasn't. I think the weight of this.
Your heavy phone?
I got it sitting sideways, but I got that. Well, that ain't the phone. Well, the camera, it could have been the thing adjusted. Because that's too straight. But, I guess before we get into anything else, we do need to talk about the port strike that's happening right now.
How it's gonna affect us Americans.
If y'all don't know and been under a rock, just don't go out there. Well, I know they probably gonna do it. Well, it's supposed to affect us also, so it's probably gonna happen. They said the worst thing that's gonna happen with this port strike is people gonna panic right now and just go out there and try to buy up shit and stock up. And they saying that's the worst you could do, because then it's really gonna
Make it harder for other people.
make it harder for people to
Or them to ration things out.
yeah, because they saying if this port strike, well, if y'all don't know, port strike,
It's supposed
it's
to be
called
today, right?
Yeah, it started today. They went on midnight last night. They on strike. They asking for 50% wage increases. I ain't mad at them. Get your money. I stand with the longmen. I think everybody in their jobs and fields right now need to go on strike. That's what I say. I just say that needs to happen with America. Because you hear so much BS back and forth. But, oh, we can't give you this money. We can't give you no raises. And I ain't talking about the small moms and pops. I understand the small moms and pops is already tight and stuff like that. But you companies, corporations, which I done said before, especially the ones who are outsourcing American jobs to India, it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. That's just putting more and more American workers out of jobs and ain't being able to feed their families, and they not giving no money. It's hard enough for you just to get your damn unemployment. They do stupid shit, which I don't get it. They need to just, what was actually they do need to come out with, I think they do need to do that universal basic income, what they was talking about around the last election.
Yeah.
I think if you under a certain wage, say for instance, like they say in the state of Texas, you need to be making like $75,000 a year to live. I think it was like $75,000. I got a chart on it, but it was from $60,000 to $75,000. If you're not making that, I say the government, they need to do something to either fund the rest of that you're not getting. And they can't say they ain't got the money, because we see they giving money left and right away, especially to the illegal migrants, which that got everybody pissed off. They getting big bags coming over here. They was talking about with the Haitians. Yeah, they coming over here getting IDs, helping them get houses, helping them get cars, transportation, everything. But we can't get a damn thing, and we here, which that's just cold-blooded. I'm thinking like I need to, which I've never really paid attention to, like too much of it, like the fall of Rome. Mm-hmm. I think America is headed down that same path, like the Roman Empire fell.
Why do you think that?
Cause look at it, look how everything is going. This civil unrest is coming. People eventually,
I mean, it's slow creeping, if you notice already.
People gonna do something, and they, big business owners and corporations, they not trying to come up with a solution to say, hey, this is what we can do to get everything back on track. All they keep thinking is, oh, we losing money, we not gonna make money. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And us common folk don't get it either, and we like, man, y'all on some BS. Eventually something's gonna happen. So, and we know as far as the port strike, that, you know, they asked for that 50%. I think it's over 4 years, 5 years to get up to that 50% increase, because they worried about their jobs and how automation is taking over a lot of their jobs.
I mean, well, we know in the next 5 years,
10 years,
they're going to be taking over their jobs anyway.
We already been talking about this. My guys from EYL, they already been talking about this. Automation is going to take over everything. But my only thing with that is, if automation is going to take over everything, how are people going to buy those products that you selling? If you selling products that used to employ people who work for you, and they buy, even if they don't work for you, if they're not working no more, they can't afford to buy this stuff.
That's true. They'll have to.
So how you gonna get money? I just don't understand that.
You're gonna have to get into other fields.
Yeah, but they making shit damn near everything's gonna be automation. They already talking about shit. You probably not gonna need a lawyer here in a minute with how they doing AI, and they getting on this quantum computer, and
everything that
we already seen Chat GPT. So that means, hey, eventually Hey, you ain't gonna need no lawyer.
I mean, everything that I was doing for the mortgage company, that entire position is now functioned in the space of automation. So the whole position was eliminated and is now done by a mass upload in the system. All the information is dumped by the system that puts it in, and then they dump it into there. So they automated the entire process. So that whole position was allocated and gone. And they doing that a lot more in mortgage.
Yeah, so I'm like, if y'all automate all these so-called jobs, whether it's the small ones that they say people don't want to work, and that's why, well, I ain't heard them say it, but that's why, they allow, which I think it's more to it, but the illegals, the immigrants coming in, which we did hear one of them, he was like, hey, y'all want to sit at home, watch NFL, not work the jobs, we gonna take the jobs and work them. I ain't mad at you if you got people that don't want to work the jobs, but I get why you don't want to work the jobs. It's because you're still struggling. It's still not, you still can't take care of anything, or you got to work like 3 jobs, and which is really is hard to do depending on your jobs. Because like my job, I can't work, especially during the week, since we don't work weekends. It's hard for me to get another full-time job or even a part-time because my job requires me to travel.
Right.
So most companies ain't gonna be like, hey, it's cool, if you gotta travel, just let us know, and that day you gotta travel, or a few days, we'll just take you off schedule. That shit don't work like that in the world. So there's a lot of people in those situations. Then, like I said, there's a lot of people that's got losing their jobs to being outsourced to other countries. So you still stuck. But so with the ports, man, the people, I like, you get your money. I ain't mad at you. You trying to get your money, you only got so much time. Y'all do so much. They saying it's gonna lose about $5 billion a day.
Like $5 billion a day.
That the ports.
So they gonna jump at solving this.
I don't know.
I believe they gonna jump at solving this.
Well, we do, but I know they asked Biden if he gonna step in and try to. It's something they can do where they can force.
They can force them to go back to.
And he was like, I'm not getting it. Y'all need to come to agreement and work it out. But that's the same thing they said with the railroad. He jumped in and forced them to get back with the railroad because they was talking about it was gonna be something catastrophic like this to shut down at the railroads. Certain railroads went on strike.
If the shippers, the railroad, if they all decided we gonna all go on layoff, the world would freeze, because all of our goods function through railroad and through boat travel. So
it's something to plan, but they're saying the cost. That's one. A lot of the shippers, they've been trying to get their stuff rerouted, and I guess when you're on the boat, it's a lot cheaper. Cause like when I was ordering product and stuff from Alibaba, you can get that flying charge, that freight charge for the flight, or you get that boat charge. This is a big time difference. And cheaper, like, man, I just fuck it. I gotta wait 30 days for my shit unless you need it like a week or 2 weeks.
When it fly, is it faster?
You flying, you quicker, you feel.
But it's way higher.
Yeah. So I know they said a lot of the people, companies, they already tried to get certain stuff rerouted, which is costing them more, but they getting it rerouted to the West Coast. See, the West Coast, they were saying that a lot of jobs were lost because they came in with the automation stuff for certain stuff out there at the West Coast ports, and they like it wasn't good. So out on the East Coast, all the way down to the Gulf Coast, they don't want the same thing that happened out there. Right. So that's why they fighting. So I just want to know, how much do you get actually paid hourly? That's what I need to Google. How much do you get paid hourly?
I know, like I guess it depends on the position you hold. Railroads, they pay a.
No, I'm just talking about not even the railroad, but just for the ports, all the longmen and whatever. I think that's what they call them, longmen. Yeah, who work at the ports. Like, how much do you get paid hourly? I'm gonna have you Google that. But yeah, because that's one thing I wonder. Like, so if what you getting paid now, and what's your 50% increase?
And what are they position called? 'Cause
I know they saying it's gonna shut down the this lady. What is she doing? It's causing issues with the truck drivers, because hey, the truck drivers got to make money. They make money by going up, getting that containers and everything. So if they not picking up the containers and picking up the loads, that's more workers gonna be out of work. Because they were saying something, like companies were saying something now that who got trucks and everything out, it was like, yeah, it's gonna get bad for us, because then they can't do what they need to do to pick up loads to get paid for their truck drivers. So we gonna have trucks just sitting, unless you gonna end up trying to reroute them.
That's gonna be
for West Coast jobs.
That's gonna be a mess.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mess.
And I mean, just like if they haven't already pre-geared up and prepared for this, because it was talks in the middle of last month.
I don't know how long it seemed like I didn't hear nothing even last month. This just happened within the last. It became big news within the last, since last week, like around the end of the last week. I just seen it like, what? This is happening then? Where was all this stuff going on before then? That seemed like that's what everybody talking about, the Diddy stuff. You ain't heard nothing else about
because
the stuff
how
that's
can
really
you when
important.
It's everywhere.
And all you hearing is about that.
That's the same thing they were saying. Like the whole North Carolina is floating away on that side, and they ain't really mentioning it. How catastrophic it was.
Well, I know they was talking about how come when your boy Trump came out, was like, how come they not criticized Biden and him for not speaking on it, and he spoke on it quickly or whatever. But yeah, we ain't talking about them. So yeah, I advise stock up slowly. You ain't gotta go out there right now and be crazy, because they saying if it just maybe a day or a few days or even a week, we really won't notice the effects.
But they said if it goes into that second week, because then that's gonna.
Well, not even the second week. They said if it goes into like, well, I guess we are in October, so into October, November, we really gonna feel it. They said you're gonna start noticing stuff not being on the shelves right around the holiday time, and that's what they don't want. You don't want it around the holiday time, which is crazy. People need to think that, do you realize how much stuff America imports in?
That's what I was saying earlier.
Y'all want all this cheap stuff, Temu, all of them, which they supposed to be putting some sanctions on them. I think I heard where they...
They're in Shein, wasn't it?
Yeah, because they trying to stop them, because
Alibaba.
it's messing up other businesses, can't make money. So, say for instance, like you, like me, clothing brand. You got a clothing store. You can't compete with the prices that they... prices of products that you getting from Temu and all of them. You can't. You can't compete with that, and that affects your pocket. Because if, say for instance, I got the same product and I'm selling it, say I'm selling it for $50, I might be spending $35 on that product already. So I'm only marking it up $15 to making a $15 profit. But they selling that same product that I paid $30 for. It may be costing them $10.
Right.
And they selling it for that. Well, it probably only cost them $5 or a few dollars to make it, and then they selling it for at least a $15, $20 profit off of everything.
Yeah, because I've seen some stuff on Temu that I've seen on other people's websites,
like I said,
for like $45, $50, and it's going on there for $10.
Yeah, so you can't compete with that. So they trying to do something, put tariffs on them that, hey, we're going to have to stop this. We're going to have to shut y'all down. That's what y'all need to be worrying about. Fuck worrying about TikTok and shutting them down, talking about this. But all the shit that matters, that really affects everybody, which I get it. Everybody wants something cheaper. But it's like I said, it goes back with people's pay, cost of living. You can't afford shit right now.
TikTok is a distraction. And people use TikTok as a way of distracting themselves from life.
Well, unless you're a creator. There's a lot of creators on TikTok making the bags, so that's gonna fuck up a lot of their bags.
And we supposed to know something on TikTok in the next they got till December, right?
I think by beginning of the year. Which I heard where there was a guy on Breakfast Club. I'm interested in what he's talking about. He's talking about he want to buy it. He owns a bunch of stuff. He owned a couple of the Dodgers at one time. A few other major things, but he got an idea where he was talking about how your data, how they're selling your data, which I think that should be illegal. Any thing that
a lot
you
of these
use,
apps.
you should get paid for your data is what I'm saying. I'm trying to say. But he's trying to do something where you own your data, and he kind of made it sound like you can get paid for your data that these corporations and companies are trying to buy, how they sell your data and information off. I think you should get a check of that. If you taking my shit of me and selling it, I don't care if it's on your platform or none of that. I need a check. I need to know who you selling my shit to.
And I should be able to decide if I want it to be sold.
Yeah, even if you don't, you should be able to decide. Yeah, but I want my cut. If they paying you, you need to count me in.
Because that data breach that happened not too long ago, this last one, that's from that kind of stuff. You just taking people's stuff.
No, that was from the hackers. The hackers did that shit, and they held that shit ransom and hostage, and you got to pay us some millions. I'm gonna have to fuck around and be a hacker here in a minute, because that's the way they making it. Is you're gonna have to do some illegal shit. And it used to be black. I hate to say it, but it wasn't just black people. But we always got that stigma of black people. We always had to do. But I guess it's actually true. We always had to do some shit due to our circumstances that were illegal just to survive and come up. But now they making it like that for everybody. Right. No matter you white, whoever, your ass gonna have to do something just to survive and come up.
You know it's crazy when your kids telling you to sell pictures of your feet to make an extra bag.
Hey,
you know that's crazy.
It's crazy, but hey, there's more crazier shit out there.
That's true.
There's more people selling more crazier shit than that. Cause
my daughter-in-law told me that the other day because
Shit, I think I told you that. I was like, hey,
he had said something
you got to start selling feet pics here in a minute because this shit's getting out of hand.
She was just like, we can do it.
Feet pics, hand pics, I don't give a damn. Something gonna have to bring in some cash.
Yeah, she not working, and so we was talking about like little because she's a very creative person, and she does pictures and stuff like that, drawings, and so I was telling her like that. She was just like, we could start one where we just do our feet. She was just like, we're just sitting at home, we can take pictures of our feet. I was like, now you sound like
me. You better need some goddamn money.
I just died laughing.
Shit, it's getting real out here.
I was like, it's crazy that at 25 or 26, you like, man, F it.
But something
gotta give.
You just need to figure out something, and that's what it is. Everybody jammed up in. Everybody trying to figure out something. Nobody wants.
You don't want to do nothing illegal, but shit.
Nobody wants to help you. You can ask for help. Everybody like, nah, nigga, you need to figure it out yourself.
Right.
And that's where we wrong at also as a society.
Yeah, nobody wanna.
Cause then, when you saying figure it out yourself, then that person, he may figure it out himself. Then he just become an asshole, or back to you, be like, yeah, you was on top then, but now you're down. I remember what you told me.
Right.
Yeah. So you figure your shit out. It's no people helping people.
Yeah, that's out. People just looking out for themselves. I mean, let me say that because
that's what Pops need. He need 2 tanks. I'm gonna have to have him walk around with 2 tanks.
I'm in the process of somebody mentoring and helping me.
What do you want? I'm gonna run here.
If they got the lean one with the strawberry with pineapples and mango.
I don't think they got that lean one no more.
With the other one that you got me before. Yeah, I'm in the process of being mentored by someone who has been in the game for a long time, and she's walking away from it. And instead of just walking away and being like whatever, she's pulled me to the side and it's offered to one-on-one me so that I can make and moving me into the business by giving me clients and doing things like that to help me. She don't have to do that. And so I appreciate it. I appreciate her. But, you know, it's definitely, it's far and few in between of people who want to do that. I can say that I've kind of been blessed in life to kind of be moved along in this business because of people who wanted to offer mentorship and teach me and train me and that's kind of how I even got introduced into the mortgage business. And so I just, you know, like, it's definitely what he said, especially for mentorship for men. It's not a lot of men offering to give game on how they got or moved through, not without having to pay a whole bunch of money. It's just not there. And it's sad. Because the only way that we can move forward is each one teach one. That's how I believe. Like, I feel like we're in a space right now where that each one teach one is a big deal, and it's very much needed. And so, you know, like, for somebody like him who's grinded, I wish that you guys can see Mr. Mostow. He is a thinker. He's a driven thinker. His mind is constantly going on ways to move forward. You know, I think before in the video I've gave the kite and the string analogy before, and I read a book where it really broke down, like, in relationships you have the person who's the kite, who is a dreamer. They're constantly coming up. They're creatives. They just don't know how to make the dream work. And then you have a string, somebody who's trying to keep them from going too far. I'm normally the one that's like, that's crazy. And he's normally the dreamer. So if you can see how consistently hard he works to try to provide and come up with other ways. And I'm the one that's always afraid. And he's the one who will throw it out there and take the risk. And I think that the dynamic in that relation is a good thing, but it can also be stressful to him because sometimes he just wants me to jump out there and just do it. I was saying that, like, you know, that one-on-one mentorship of men needing more mentorship on just other men who've been in business, just passing the game along without making you pay crazy amounts of money.
I just think, man, it's women too.
Well, we're starting to see that all over the place. And I was saying, you know, like Helen taking a chance on me, training me in something that she's ready to walk away from. I was saying she don't have to do that. I said, but I kind of have been lucky to even be introduced into this business off the back of somebody mentoring me. That's rare.
Yeah, that should have been like my job.
Yeah.
I got in this communications field through a black-owned company, trying to give us a chance to get in this industry.
Right.
Even though they had issues and it didn't last, but they gave a chance on a lot of us young cats, because we was all like early 20s, all of us. It was like, man, word of mouth, like, hey bro, I know this job hiring, da-da-da-da. Everybody ran. It was like everybody, me, Marlon, Devin, everybody ended up jumping on it. And I think me and Marlon still in it. I think only us two are the ones that's still in this field in some type of way. But it just took somebody giving the opportunity for us to do it, or like, hey, we gonna take a chance on you. And most people don't want to do that nowadays, or they too busy, or maybe they think they busy. Because sometimes I think God sends certain people, and you might be like, man, I can't do this right now, But I think that, you know, God is sending this person to you for a reason. Like, hey, I know you got a lot, but you can do this. I'm sending this person to you for some guidance or help.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all some people need. Like, hey man, I ain't asking you to give me no money. I ain't asking for none of that. I'm just asking for some direction, some help.
That's just like, you know.
It's like, hey, I'll help you. You trying to climb this wall? I got the ladder for you, but it's up for you.
Hold it up.
It's up for you to go up and do it.
Yeah. I think he sees that our shakes up here. But yeah, I think, you know, like, sometimes I just feel like when you are hustling and bustling and trying to figure out a way to provide and keep things afloat, especially because, like in our situation, I'm currently not working, and everything has just been in my field, it's just been not popping off. He's trying to do everything he can, and I can imagine, like, I know for a fact how stressed he is, and I'm trying. And so, this breaks just for you.
Shit, I was about to try to get another job. I think that lady's this older lady in there.
She said?
She said, like, right now she got a full crew, but you can put it in the app. I just don't like this kind of area.
Yeah.
It's not that bad, but it's just.
All them homeless.
Yeah, and I always see the police over here, and I don't want.
Yeah. It do be a lot over here. But
nothing against the homeless, but it be some wild shit be going on.
yeah, and they be doing some very wild, weird things too. But yeah, I can agree. Like, sometimes you just need.
You know what? You ain't hear me back.
You need that one. You just need that one person to just say, "Don't worry about it. Here, let me show you. Let me show you something. I got you."
That motherfucker, that was what's her name? Sister or something. Alex.
Oh. But
Guess I go to the crib right now because he ain't hit me back. I didn't reach out. I wish it would have had the address and the thing, but it doesn't.
You don't got a phone number?
I did. That's why I text the number. And then it only gives.
Well, we supposed to be watching the video.
You have an incoming call.
Where's this call coming from?
Maybe it was my phone.
Your phone just ringing?
Mhm.
I'm like, let me see, it's in Rome.
You know you're still recording, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
27. And Rome is out there about Decatur. Ah, you know what? That is up north of us. Okay. At least it's saying that's where it's at. I thought it was out. So, which is no big. I thought it was on the other side of town. So cool. If they do call, it's not too far from us if I go out that way. You know what? Ever since I did this update, now it's asking for this shit. I did the update. Now it's like when I'm in FB, like I'll try to click on the link. Now it's asking me to sign in. I'm like, I'm not on. No, I'm on the app. I'm what the fuck. Who else's birthday? Oh, that was 2 days ago, Marquand.
But anyway, talk to the people.
All right, right now you talk. Oh, that was my shit. They'll never know about that.
I'm the Doug Dodgers.
No, that's not Doug Dodgers. He was on. I want to say
Rusty Rangers?
Scrooge McDuck, but he was the one.
Say. Yeah, he going down the Facebook web.
Ooh.
I'm sure these people don't care about you looking at cars, sir.
It's not clean.
It is clean.
Actually, no, I was looking for that address and it kicked me out, but it's not giving me a number of that place.
Handy Home Improvements. You got one of your cards?
What?
Painting, roofing, home builders, flooring.
What they got to do with me?
They do home repairs. They might need.
I don't do
Commercial
home repairs.
No, but you do wiring. So how you
I don't do electrical. I'm low voltage.
You don't know if they may need somebody who do that. They may be someplace in need and they just.
No, not times out of. And I don't like doing homes anyway. Homes is a fucking nightmare. Unless they brand new. You see the troubles I be coming home with when I be like, we had to do a house and that shit was just fucking horrible, and then people expecting magic without cutting up their walls and shit.
Okay. King Tut Restaurant.
Daily lunch. So where were we back at?
We were talking about mentorship.
Since I can't go out there.
And people giving you.
In the ports, so that's where we were at.
Yeah.
So I think right now we about to get this reaction to this what's going on, what I was talking about, since I can't go out to there.
They just register as whatever family or friends are. I'm thinking about it. Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Bitches.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Jess is on maternity leave, so Lauren Rose is filling in. We also have our sister Angela Rye with us this morning,
The host of the Native Land Podcast.
That's right, and we got a special guest in the building. He's from Brooklyn. The brother
Brooklyn
Byron
and
Donalds, also with the FAMU too. HBCU.
Byron Donalds?
Well,
Oh,
welcome, brother.
Brooklyn? Yeah, Crown Heights, Brooklyn.
Can't you tell the demeanor way he speaks? I'm like, he don't sound like nothing but a New Yorker.
Park Place, Troy, Schenectady, man.
The way he walked in, I was like, he's New Yorker. But welcome, brother.
So how'd you become I guess because, in New York is considered such a liberal place. How did you become a conservative?
Oh, man. Politics came late for me in life.
You started as a Democrat, right?
Yeah, I was a registered Democrat. Didn't really care about
Listen to what he
politics.
said.
I think a lot of people like that in the country. They just register as whatever family or friends are, not really thinking about it. My career was finance, so I graduated with a degree in finance marketing from Florida State. I had too much fun at FAMU, so I had to transfer.
Okay.
So I transferred to FSU, got my degree there, started in my career.
I guess that
worked in
almost
banking,
sounds
worked
like
in
Nick.
insurance. And then through the financial collapse of 2008, my company had international clients, and they were saying, we need to get information.
He had too much
for
fun
our
at
clients
PV, he had to
and
change.
investment. So I started doing the research because I had worked in banking for 5 years. And when I did the research, one of the last things I did is Financial Services Committee in Congress. First time I ever watched a congressional committee. And I watched it, and really for me, it was that the members didn't know what they were talking about. I was like, who are these people? I was 29 at the time, 29, 30. And I'm thinking, who are these guys? They don't know what they're talking about. This stuff doesn't make sense. And so that's really what started having me starting to think about politics. And, the journey kind of went from there. But I got to tell y'all both, my son, he's sitting at home, my son Mason, and he's a huge fan. So he listens all the time, so I got to give a shout out to Mason.
Congressman, you just mentioned that you attended FAMU, but graduated from Florida State. We know that Donald Trump committed $255 million annually to HBCUs, while the Biden administration invested more than $16 billion since fiscal year 2021 to HBCUs, averaging more than $4 billion annually. They also challenged states through the Department of Education, that same department that Project 2025 wants to abolish, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture to close a $12 billion gap between funding of land-grant institutions that are traditionally white institutions and historically black colleges. FAMU is, of course, one of those schools, as you know. The letter to Governor DeSantis said in the last 30 years alone, an additional over $1.9 billion would have been available for FAMU had this disparity not existed. What obligation does Florida have to properly fund FAMU? to ensure rattlers like yourself are properly educated with the resources they deserve?
Well, look, I mean, thank you for the question. I think that the disparities you talk about between some of the, I guess probably more prolific universities in our state, like UF and FSU versus FAMU, and even from some of the younger universities like UWF, UNF, etc., is something that when I was in the state legislature, we actually talked a lot about. My last year in Tallahassee, there was a project for the Student Services Building. It was about a $25 million project. Myself and members on the Democrat side of the aisle, we worked with the leadership in Tallahassee and then Governor DeSantis to make sure that FAMU got the money they needed to build that project out completely. And so that's something specifically I worked on. I think going forward, that is something we got to definitely address. I totally agree with that. I think there's two issues though in higher education we got to also address. We do have a problem with the unaffordability of college. And a part of the reason why it is a problem is because so much money is poured into universities, and we have told so many kids in the United States that the only way to be successful is to go to college.
Right.
I'm from the generation. I don't want to talk about your age, Angela. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna call you 32 years old and I'm gonna walk away.
I'm 44. I'll be 45 next month. It's all good.
32 is way better. But anyway, it's all right. It's all right. Well, I think the point is that we have to start telling young people that there's multiple ways to be successful. When you have a situation coming from high school where all your successes can only be found with a 4-year degree, what you also end up doing is you put upward pressure on the cost of college. But you're getting a lot of people coming out of college who have a degree that doesn't have economic value, when there are multiple pathways for success in the United States. So funding that is on par through all universities is important, I do agree. But we also have to address the realities that's pushing every high school student into college with the false reality that a college degree is going to make you successful. It's not going to help them for success long term, because they're going to be burdened with the cost of that degree.
Right.
Go into the real world and then realize, oh, wait a minute, I can't get a job with the degree I have. Not all degrees are the same. I believe personally that an accounting degree, a finance degree like I have, an engineering degree, a law degree, that has more economic value overall in the economy than a marketing degree, which I also have, or a communications degree, or a psychology degree, or a philosophy degree, etc. If you can get into psychology and make that work for yourself. So I think there's multiple layers to college education that we need to address.
Let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
So, I want to go back a little bit. So you were arrested before for marijuana.
Yeah.
You're arrested for bank fraud.
Yeah.
You're also of Caribbean descent.
Yeah.
Jamaican.
Yeah.
When you hear Donald Trump talk about some of the other brothers that were arrested and taking out that full ad in the paper, or you hear them talking about Haitian people eating dogs and cats, you still stand by them and what they believe, and if you do, why?
Well, a couple things.
Because you're
First,
given a second chance, because like you should have been, but
yeah.
Why do you still stand by them if you do?
Well, I think you also got to acknowledge that when he was president, he also did the First Step Act, which undid a lot of the issues with the '94 crime bill that a lot of politicians, including the current president, were for. He undid that when he was president of the United States. I think second chances are important in society.
I
think everybody's afforded them. You know what happened with the Central Park 5? I was probably 6th, 7th grade, 8th grade when that was going down in New York.
Yep.
I can't really speak to that, but what I also
It was all over the paper.
I know it was everywhere. You couldn't escape it.
We're around the same age, so we seen it everywhere.
You couldn't escape it. But what I would also add is that in 2000, Donald Trump was a member of the Reform Party. Most people don't talk about this. He was a member of the Reform Party. When David Duke joined the Reform Party, he left. He famously said, I can't be associated with that party because they let David Duke come in. That man is a Klansman. When he bought Mar-a-Lago, he desegregated Mar-a-Lago. At the time when he bought it, only white people were allowed in Mar-a-Lago. He desegregated that. Allowed black people and Jewish people to be a part of Mar-a-Lago. So I think that when you start going down the road of the past, you have to take a man in his totality.
You know what I think? Sometimes how can I say this? Sometimes you gotta play something that you're not.
In order to be something that you're not.
In order to get where you need to go. Meaning, let's just, I guess, play devil's advocate or whatever you want to call it. Trump Yeah, he say some fucked up shit and wild shit, and everybody trying to say he's racist or whatever. What if he knows who the majority of people is and what he needs to get his win? So regardless of whatever the fuck, if that's what it's gonna take to him to get his win, and him not thinking, well, this is not actually me, but I know I gotta do this in order to get this win. So I'm gonna have to rally these people up, because that's the only way I'm gonna win type shit, is to say certain things that's fucked up.
I mean,
Because I know we're in a fucked up place. We're in a messed up world. Gotta watch my mouth. They demonetize me. Before they, so I can get them people behind me and rally for them and all of this and that, so I can be in the position that I'm in. But at the same time, when I get in the position, I do stuff that helps the other people. You see what I'm saying?
right.
You may not notice it, or they try to act like that shit doesn't exist. But I do the shit when I'm in office that helps other people. So, with that being said, it's, I don't know, I just wonder about that, if it's that type of situation
Yeah.
where you do that, which I could be wrong. I'm not.
I mean,
And
it wouldn't be
hold-
far-fetched.
Hold up, let's
because-
make no mistake. I just don't want to say Trump supporter. I'm not no politician supporter, really. It's hard for me to, because I see what these politicians do. So don't get it effed up with me thinking, oh, I support Trump and fully on everything. But I'm like what Killer Mike said. In order to make change, I'm gonna have to sit at these tables and talk with these people. I mean, it was giving him a flack when he was on the
I seen it
TV
on
show
the,
with old girls and them.
Talk.
He was like, look, in order for me to get done what I need to get done, I'm going to have to go sit with the governor in this, whether you like it or not. That's how the system is. We have to sit and talk with people.
in order to figure out what
Yeah,
they,
and to get stuff to work.
Right.
But, so yeah, that just made me think of that, him saying that.
And then when you couple that with the economic policies, the energy policies, the foreign policy, we have to acknowledge the reality that in the world today, the United States is in the midst of two conflicts, not directly, but indirectly. We just sent troops over into the Middle East because of the growing conflict with our ally Israel, having to essentially secure its sovereignty and its protection from Hezbollah and Hamas. Well, when Donald Trump was president, we didn't have to do any of that. So I acknowledge the stuff that you're talking about that happened in the past, but I think you have to take a man on the full record. And when he was president, he did release a lot of black people from prison. He did that. He did try to reform some of the criminal justice system. He did that as well. And so that work is just as important as something that he might have said back during the Central Park fight.
I acknowledge the First Step Act, but when you said he undid the 94 crime bill, what do you mean?
What I mean is that the reforms in the First Step Act undid in part some of the issues in the 94 crime bill. Not totally. Mm-hmm. Not totally. It dealt with the sentencing of those people who either had their sentences reduced or were released, and their convictions were in line with the 94 crime bill and the way criminal statutes were written during that under that piece of legislation.
And his thoughts on the whole
Go ahead, Angela.
Oh, what's up, Angela?
Sorry, just on this same point, you talked about taking the man in his totality.
Yeah.
So one of those things in his totality is what happened on January 6th, which was your first term in Congress.
Yeah.
Do you think he should be held accountable? Donald Trump should be held accountable for his role in the January 6th insurrection?
Well, I mean, listen, first of all, I would tell you that everybody's responsible for their own actions. Just like I'm not going to blame friends or blame anybody else for the things I've done wrong in my life, I'm not going to put that on him. I'm not going to run around and blame Bernie Sanders for the fact that Steve Scalise was shot. Because if you go back and look at when Steve Scalise, who's the current leader in the House of Representatives, who almost died.
I think that's one of the things that tripped me out with the whole January 6th. Even though I feel like Killer Mike, that's white folks' business. I ain't getting into their business.
Because it wasn't us.
But it's all you black people like, oh, that was just a horrible thing. Man, y'all act like they actually give a shit about us. I guess that's my nicest way to say it.
Right.
But it just trips me out on how everybody wants to hold one person
accountable for what
other people's
adults
actions. That's like what I was saying even with Diddy. These are grown ass people making their grown ass decisions and grown ass actions, in which I have not seen. If I'm wrong, send it to me or show me a clip. I have not seen a video that shows him
with kids.
saying with kids.
With teenagers, because they trying to.
No, I'm talking about Trump and the January thing. He's still on that Diddy shit.
Because you just said something.
No, I'm
about
just
it.
saying because that's why they try to. It's crazy how they do that and like, oh, I didn't tell nobody to go out and do such and such. Yeah, we had a peaceful rally, was going to protest or whatever. But I think I said this before. You always gonna have someone that come in. No, someone in the group that's gonna F everything up.
It's always
now, even though I'm hosting it or whatever, I can't be responsible for what some knuckleheads decide to do. Unless I told them, like, hey, you go do this, you go burn that shit down. And that's one of the things I done had a problem with it. I was like, okay, now if he said that, he said that. Now if he said something, but I have not seen not one video that said, go burn the shit down or anything crazy and storm and take over. I have not seen one. I could be wrong, but I haven't seen one. So that's just one of the things that I hate on how we become in a society. And you know, I meant to say this the other day. I think a car ran straight through this motherfucker. I see them boarding the shit up. I was like, damn, what the hell? Did they just, brakes didn't go or just went? Just imagine you in your apartment right there and
somebody come in your house.
But
at a congressional baseball practice, hold on, let me explain this. So I'm gonna come back to January 6th.
Yeah, please do.
No, I will, of course. The shooter that almost killed Steve Scalise, the Republican leader, he said vehemently that the reason why he went to the congressional baseball practice of Republicans to shoot it up was because he felt that Republicans were going to take away health care. And what he had heard in his rhetoric was that was dangerous and these Republicans had to be stopped. So I'm going to translate that to January 6th. The shooter is the one that perpetrated that crime. I'm not going to put that on Bernie Sanders, who he cited for the rhetoric around why he went to the congressional baseball practice. That's a shooter that almost killed Steve Scalise. Let me translate.
That's a good example.
Donald Trump authorized 10,000 National Guard troops. I'm on the oversight committee. He actually authorized 10,000 troops on January 4th, 2 days before January 6th, obviously. So if you're going to say that you incited an insurrection, then how are you also going to authorize 10,000 National Guard troops to be at the Capitol? Are you inciting or are you not?
See, that's another thing that makes no sense to me. They wasn't saying none of that before.
Yeah, because I definitely haven't heard about the guards at all.
But hold on, I guess I didn't let him finish.
Because
I did catch
he authorized the troops. Nancy Pelosi and Muriel Bowser, the mayor of D.C., did not want the troops at the Capitol. Muriel Bowser signed a letter on January 5th, one in the...
You know what this sounds like to me? Now, if I'm the president and I'm taking precautions, don't nothing crazy or nothing happen,
and y'all say,
and I sign an order to have 10,000, what they said, 10,000 troops to be out on foot, but
and then y'all go behind.
But Pelosi and whoever decide, nah, we're not gonna do that. Maybe it's me because I didn't watch too much military conspiracy movies. That sounds like, to me, in my mind, I'm thinking like y'all wanted some shit to happen. Y'all want to implant some shit in there to cause ruckus and chaos. And maybe it got out the stream by the one person getting shot and killed. And there's no turning back from that. But that makes me think that y'all was like, oh no, we know it's gonna be chaos, so we're not gonna give them people and just let it be what it be.
It do sound like,
and we gonna put our secret agents in there to cause chaos.
Right.
So yeah, that's what that sounds like to me. Like, cause if y'all thinking that something could happen. It's gonna be a riot. Why would?
No mail yet.
I'm like that was. I'm like that was quick. Oh yeah, it's still early.
Yes, early.
Okay. Oh,
My God.
why you didn't have it in the cup holder?
You had other stuff in the cup holder, so I just was putting it up there for a second.
But yeah, that's my thinking on
National
it.
Guard troops to be on traffic duty in D.C. Now, here's the funny thing about January 5th, 2021, is that nobody was in D.C. because D.C.'s rules around COVID-19 had the entire city shut down. The streets were empty during this time. So the National Guard that was authorized by Donald Trump were on traffic duty when there was no traffic, when they could have been at the Capitol. That's the history of January 6th. So your question is, well, did he incite a riot? Well, I never seen somebody incite a riot.
What I said,
Angela,
and
I don't want to cut you up. I'm gonna make one point. I'm gonna make one point. I don't want to cut you
No,
up.
but I want to make sure that you're addressing the right point, because I actually did not use that language. What I asked you was, should Donald Trump be held accountable for his role in January 6th? And so what I think is important is to compare this to Steve Scalise being
I think
shot
he
after
should have asked,
someone
like,
wanted
okay,
healthcare.
so what are you
This is
saying
the
his role
rhetoric,
is
the
in
very dangerous
it?
rhetoric that Donald Trump spouted on January 6th, where more than
Then I can get a clear understanding of how to answer you.
in nearly all 50 states for their role, and 140 police officers were assaulted. The same police officers that your party has said they want qualified immunity for, and Donald Trump, because we're looking at the totality of the person, has said they should have full immunity, right? And when you think about the number of police officers who would get full immunity for their role in killing and being violent with people in our community like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, Freddie Gray, Philando Castile, Charlene Lyles, Manny Ellis. Is that really the kind of rhetoric that you want to push, especially at the Breakfast Club?
Why
Well, hold on a second, Angela, because you brought in like 4 different topics now. You want to talk
No,
about
I didn't.
Trump?
What I brought in was January 6th responsibility,
That's one.
police accountability, and I used
That's two.
examples of why they should be held accountable. But you talked about how fantastic he was with the crime bill, which I object, but I'll let you finish your point. You also have not acknowledged the fact that this man was vehemently opposed to the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, and you all are supposed to be the party that protects law enforcement, where over 150 police officers were assaulted that day on January 6th because of Donald Trump's
Okay,
rhetoric.
so let me respond to a couple things. Number one, the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. There were actually 2 bills that were moving through the United States Senate that year. There was the George Floyd Policing Act that you discussed, and there was the bill that was written by Senator Tim Scott. They were both moving, moving through the Senate, right? The Tim Scott bill is the one that could have got signed into law. It was essentially a mirror image of the George Floyd bill, except for qualified immunity. The difference between those 2 bills, and Angela, you just acknowledged it, the only difference between those 2 bills was qualified immunity. The issue with qualified immunity is very simple. If you remove qualified immunity from policing, you're going to have less officers on the street. Police officers make what? $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year? They have, most law enforcement has about 40 million or more encounters every single year with citizens. If you remove qualified immunity, I'm telling you this right now because I've talked with law enforcement officers all across the country, not the chiefs, the officers. They will not be working these communities. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm from Crown Heights, Brooklyn. I may not have always loved having the police in my neighborhood, and that's just a thing from a kid. I may not have always loved it, but when I needed them, they were there. And a lot of our officers today, they're black, they're Hispanic, they're white. So removing qualified immunity only lowers the number of officers in communities. What we're seeing right now is a movement of policing from states where they're not really respecting law enforcement to states where they do, or there's not that moral support for law enforcement. I was in my district yesterday. I was talking with an officer who's from Philadelphia. He was a Philadelphia officer. He now is a Fort Myers officer. I asked him, I said, well, why'd you make the move? He goes, because up there was no support for me as an officer for what I love to do, which is serve my community. So I said, enough is enough. I'm gonna move. He went to Florida. My sheriff in Florida, he's like, I have more applications coming from officers who are in states or in localities where they're not getting the moral support or whatever they need to continue to do their job day in, day out. And so they're leaving. Well, who does that hurt? That hurts. That hurt. Who does that really hurt, though, Charlamagne? Because if you don't have officers if you don't have officers on the streets or officers, in urban areas, who's really left in that lurch?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what does qualified immunity have to do with having less police officers?
Because the economic incentive of qualified immunity means that your personal assets aren't gone after if something goes wrong. So, you're in business. Do you get involved in a project or a deal that leaves you massively exposed financially? You may, depending on your passion for that project, but then you also sit back and think, now, wait a minute, if something goes wrong, I'm going to be held massively liable. Maybe I need to do something.
If nothing goes wrong, we're talking about people getting violently hurt or killed.
Yeah, clearly.
When it's people that you brushed over.
But it's when somebody clearly violates a constitutional right.
And when you violate a constitutional right, qualified immunity doesn't apply to you. And that's what I'm talking about. It does not. Angela, don't do that. It does not. I thought that was the definition. No, it does not. I thought that was the definition. No, it does not. If you carry yourself outside of the confines of your training and the protocols of that department, qualified immunity doesn't apply to you. It does not.
That's not true.
So
that is very true. That is very true.
So basically, it's going down to your training. So if you do shit outside of what they consider training and legit and legal and
they can show proof
in their eyes that it was part of the training, you did what you were supposed to do, then you can't be held accountable
for what happens
because you did what you was trained to do. Which I get it, but it still may be effed up, but maybe it's the training that needs to change.
That's been the thing from the very beginning.
How they're training, they need to say, well, no, you can't do this in training. That shouldn't be done. Because what we seen with old boy, if that was in your, well, I guess it wasn't because he went to jail, putting your knee in somebody's neck and they dying and all of that shit. If that was in the training or in the training, then yeah, you be held accountable. You can be sued after that. But I guess if it wasn't in there, then you can be sued. But if it's in the training, if it is in the training, it's still fucked up.
Right.
And it shouldn't be in there. So the training needs to be changed. So,
which I've said from the very beginning, from the very first one that we saw.
So I can understand them on the business aspect, like, because that's like I said,
have police officers.
Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm risking my life, and I got to do, which we know there's some crazy motherfuckers out here that the police have to deal with. Not all the times. I think we hear about the cases to where
they're extreme.
It's extreme, and this shit shouldn't be happening, especially to us people of color. It shouldn't be happening. But so I get that, but let's see.
But it's patently true, and we need to make sure we have that accurate.
I don't like how she was like, that's not true.
Because you have a lot of officers out here who do their job with honor and dignity and respect for the people that they serve.
I know police officers.
Qualified immunity is a legal doctrine that protects government officials from civil lawsuits when they perform their jobs unless they clearly violate a constitutional right.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And what is a violation of that right is when they're outside the norms of their training and the protocols of that department or that agency.
But here's the main thing, because we can actually go past qualified immunity, because this is the place where you've refused to answer both on Donald Trump's accountability and on the law enforcement.
She ain't gonna say that was okay. You're right.
What we know is that he's seeking full immunity, like the same immunity he now has because of the Supreme Court, because of the corruption of the Supreme Court. We have now gone beyond civil presidential immunity to criminal presidential immunity. He would like to give that same immunity to law enforcement. True or false?
Well, let's expand that a couple things.
True or false?
You can't answer true or false, Angela, because you gotta explain the details. No, see, this is the problem.
I don't want you to explain the details, because when you explain the details,
I need the details.
Details of what the things that matter.
That's what's wrong, man.
Explain the details, or then you just talk. You're just talking,
and then explain.
If you don't explain the details, then you're just talking.
Yeah, you don't.
You know, that's what we're gonna have to stop doing.
We want to hear what we want to hear.
Yeah, we just want to know true or false. Sometimes I realize in life you just can't give a true or false answer to certain things.
You can't just give a yes or no either.
Especially depending on how you asking it. There's always details around everything. So it's, even if it be like, you know what, I'm on trial, I'll be like, hey, they asked me, true or false, did you shoot this person? I'm gonna be like, yeah, but there's details, which is more details to it. Yes, I did shoot him. You asked me that, so yes, I did shoot this person. Now,
you don't.
If they don't come back and be like, what was your reasoning? well, what happened? What caused you to shoot him? Then I should be able to say, hey, this is what caused and led up to this.
But the reason in court is different probably because there's a line of questioning that normally leads
But not all the
to-
time. It depends on the prosecutor and the attorney. They might just say, hey, this is all we want to know to paint that picture that you did it.
That's true.
But then it's up to your attorney to come back and be like, hey, now I'm going to question. So we seen if they just ask you such and such. Now, what was behind that? What are the details behind all of that? She don't want to know the details behind it. She just want to know.
Because
no, I
if
don't
you
want to know
the details. Then you can.
It keeps
just,
you blind,
right?
not understanding the whole scenario situation that went down or that's going down. So you just thinking one thing, but it's like when we see when trials happen, like, oh, I didn't know this and this happened. Y'all just made it look like only this happened.
That's like the Mendez brothers. That's on their case. That's exactly kind of what happened. People was like, oh, they killed their parents, so they deserve to rot in hell. But then when you heard all the sexual things that they claim happened, which now people are saying weren't true, they made that whole story up. Then you thinking like, oh, well, if my dad had violated me in those ways, then they probably had every right to do that, because what person is not going to have click at some point? And
But that goes back to what I was saying earlier about the baby. You snap, you lose it, even though it wasn't right, because you took a life. That person's no longer, even though it wasn't right. Well, and even in that, it's kind of hard to say, because when you say it's just like people are, when you are violating kids and doing all that type of shit, and you deserve to be up out of here. That's just how I think and feel. But
sometimes the why is important.
Yeah, the why is important. You gotta explain that.
I want
And
to
she
say
don't
that
want that.
because you know that it's not true. So
That
let's
is
just
not
move
true.
along.
You want a true or false statement?
Congressman,
Hold on.
I want to know.
I don't want to argue with you. I want to explain the
racism in this
facts.
country.
Angela, I don't want to argue with you.
I would
want to
like to
explain
know
the
if you've
facts.
ever experienced racism in this country, Congressman.
Yeah, actually, I have.
Okay. Do you believe America is a racist country?
No, I don't.
Okay, I believe that that's true because you said in an op-ed on Fox News, as a black conservative, I, like Senator Scott, agree in our two lives and the lives of many black men and women like us are living proof that America is indeed no longer a racist nation and by far the best place to reach your fullest potential. And so here's my question. You did, however, vote to support the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act, along with every member of the House except for 3 Republicans. So I appreciate your bipartisanship there. And what I do know...
when you think about it, honestly, and me being a person, thank God, I've traveled, not flying, driving all over the country. I've drove from Texas to Maine, over to Oregon, just all over. This is highway miles, not getting on the plane, in little towns.
That wasn't too kind to who we are.
And you know what? Thank God I've never had a problem. I think the only time we ever heard something and they gave us up, and that was in Missouri. That was when we was down around, I think we was around Cape Girardeau. And that's when I was saying before how I got into this field. We was doing the post offices. And we was doing their POS upgrades. And luckily I wasn't with the group of guys this time. We had split off, and we went to another building. But the guys who went to this one building in this little town in the area, and I went somewhere else with the other guys. They came back and was like, hey, we got a call, like, hey, the sheriff came in. He was like, hey, what are y'all doing here? Oh, we here working. So he's like, hey, I don't care what y'all do, but when the sun go down, y'all need to be up out of here. And I was like, damn, I'm glad I didn't go there. But that was probably the only time that I've actually heard, even though I had, pulled over by cops, all type of racist shit as a teenager coming up in the city, and had shit happen to me, been pulled out of a vehicle while the vehicle was not in park, car start rolling. It's just crazy for shit that I just pull up to a scene and we getting food Matter of fact, it used to be Checkers off of 63rd. It was me, John, Lamar. I'm driving. I'm out right out front. They up at the thing and something happened with somebody there. Police. All I know is police rolled up. I'm like, dude, I'm just getting something to eat. I ain't got nothing to do with them. Cop come, snatched me out the car, whole nine, da 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 da. I was like, man, you got to be fucking kidding me. The car started rolling. John had to jump in on this side, put his feet down, stop the car from just going out. It was. So I've had those experiences as a teenager, but as I've gotten older, you know, I've had maybe, I guess you can call it some discrimination shit at jobs and work, but nothing where I'm around people all the time, every day, everywhere. And even our kids, I can say, I don't think racism is not like what it used to be for our parents.
Definitely not.
Now, is America a racist country? I'm going to say no, but there's racist motherfuckers in the country.
That's very true.
That's what I'm going to say. Is it the country? No, because in that case, we wouldn't be seeing none of y'all on TV. We wouldn't be seeing none of this shit. It would still be getting our communities burnt down and all type of crazy shit. Even though they doing it in another form right now and all of that, it's not the same. So me, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, there's racist people in this country, but there are not a lot of racist people in this country. If it is, they hide it good, and they not the same as the racist people before. In which I'm the type of person, hey, if you don't like me, and if you racist, I gotta understand it. I'd rather you be that and say that, and me and you gotta understand it. And then, hey, you don't mess with me, I don't mess with you. You mind your business, I mind my business. That type of stuff.
But
I know that's how a lot of,
under the table type.
Yeah. And when you hiding and you coming out, oh, now you is what you is.
You think that person nice, and we think that person cool, then you find out that person's plotting your demise at work.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, he been up there talking racist shit about me. I done found all of this. And you hear that happens from time to time with incidents, but
yeah, I've definitely
you know what?
That.
Like I said, I done traveled all over America, driving, being in a little town. Sometimes, yeah, I've been even worried about. I remember when I was up around what's that bike week? What's the bike week with all the white bikers?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Man, I was up there working doing the Walmart one time. I was like, oh shit, this is about to be very interesting. No problem, it was cool. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's Sturgis. Yeah. I was up there around Sturgis. Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. How am I gonna maintain up here? But it was fun. I didn't have no problems. You know, people were cool. Like I haven't run into that shit. And I've been down south where I was down south going through Mississippi, Alabama, where it even felt eerie for me the first time going down there, traveling through the roads and just the trees and the whole energy I got down there when I was driving through there was like, man, it's just,
you know your people.
Yeah, it was just, I can't explain it. It was just an eerie feeling. I was like, Lord, please just let me get through and get to where I need to be and be in and out. But I never had no problem. Never got in trouble, nothing. Even when I went down with JJ and Tamika's and them family, you know, they got Mississippi, which is the only black people that I know that their family got 50 acres. Yeah. It 40 acres or 50 acres?
40 acres.
It's supposedly a mule, and their whole setup is the names of their street, of their family down in there. I was like, oh, that's cool. But when we went down there, I was like, man, I was leery about going down there. Like, I'm trying to go down no Mississippi? Niggas, you crazy? But didn't have no problem. So, thank God.
One of my scariest experiences was in Mississippi.
Yeah, so thank God. So, but that's what I'm going to say on that. And my battery about to die. So we're going to have to finish this in a minute. Be back.
And I want to spend some time with you. Just the two of us.